Hello and welcome back to another episode of What Fills Your Cup. I am your host, Riley Alexander, and today is another solo episode. I kind of live, laugh, love the solo episodes. I feel like it's a time where I can just hang out and you guys get to know me. If you watched the first solo episode where I kind of introduced this series of What Fills My Cup, then you will know that every week, now that I think about it, I think I actually said it wrong in that episode. Guys, we're still figuring this whole thing out, okay? This is a collaborative experience with me and you being my audience. I really want to do solo episodes every Wednesday. I'm going to try my very, very best. I really want to. That is a goal for me and on this channel. And every Wednesday, you're going to have a solo episode, and then every Sunday is going to be my guest. So I was thinking about it for me and specifically YouTube and YouTubers in general. I love when they post multiple videos a week for the reason that I just love seeing their lives and hearing about their lives, seeing what they're doing, and I really want to provide as much content for you guys while also putting in ideas that I have, especially at the beginning of this whole starting process of starting this podcast. I just want to put out as much as I possibly can. Put out as much content as I possibly can. I really got to work on my words as I have a freaking podcast. Like, hello, babe, that you're talking all the time. So that's concerning. So I've been thinking of ideas, and I really did want to touch on the fact that this is still so new to me. I think this is episode 4? I'm not going to sit here and say that every single week is going to be something completely different. I do want to have some form of consistency. And in the beginning steps, I'm trying to implement that consistency as soon as possible. Hence why I'm wanting to say every Wednesday I want a solo episode, and every Sunday you'll see my guest. I mean, it could be 2 guests one week. It could be 2 solo episodes one week, but I really want to stay consistent when it comes to every Wednesday and Sunday for you guys, the viewers, the content consumers, because I just think the more, the frickin' merrier. Now, with the solo episodes, I thought it would be a really good idea if the solo episode almost foreshadowed my guest and what they talk about, but pulling in my maybe opinion or maybe my point of view on the topic of what the podcast with my guest is going to be about. So you're getting a bit of a foreshadow of what the topic will be on Sunday's episode, on the Wednesday episode where it's just solo, but you're also getting to hear my point of view, just me and the mic, and you, obviously. Hey, how's it going? But I thought that would be a really interesting idea. I am still in the beginning stages of all of this, and I love that I get to see my own personal growth. I mean, 2 weeks ago, I was only wanting to do 1 episode a week, and I was only wanting to do, out of randomness, 1 solo episode a few times a month. But now I was thinking, no, let's make this 10 times more difficult for myself. I'm just kidding. I'm honestly having the best time ever. I'm having so much fun. And why only limit myself to 1 episode a week when I can try my best and have 2 episodes a week for not only myself, but for you guys. And I just think that's really fun. And I think it's a good idea. And you can correct me. You can tell me, no, babe, let's stick to 1 episode a week. I don't need double dose of you. Me, as in you is me in talking about that third person. But I just thought that would be a good idea. And I want to see how this idea goes. I want to see how it goes. I want to try my best. I am trying my best. That's kind of what the Wednesday episodes are going to be. You're going to get a solo episode on Wednesdays, and it's going to kind of foreshadow for the guests episode. I guess that's all I needed to say. I went on a bit of a tangent there. I'm so sorry about that. But yes, welcome back. Hi. I'm sorry. I started blabbing right away. I just feel like I have all these thoughts in my brain right now. And sometimes it's a little hard for me to execute those thoughts. Before I start yapping away, Riley, what are you drinking today? It is actually non-alcoholic. I just wanted to put in a wine glass because I was feeling fancy pants. But I am having a lime soda water. I put a little bit of simple syrup in there because honestly, I like my drinks a little bit sweet, but it's simple syrup, lime juice, soda. There's a lot of lime juice, I'm not gonna lie. It's a lime cocktail minus the cocktail. No, it's just soda water and lime. That's actually all I really needed to say. But yes, we're having a non-alcoholic option. Anyways, cheers everyone. You can tell it's non-alcoholic because I can actually chug it. Welcome back to another solo episode. I hope everyone is doing fan-frickin-tabulous. I just got back from a 2-week vacation. I was in Mexico with my family, which was so lovely, so needed, and it was a really good reset. Really good way to end the year, a difficult year, I will add, but also a really good way to start the year with the people I love the most in the world, my mom, my dad, my sister, her boyfriend, my boyfriend. It was just really great to be all under the same roof. Not in Vancouver. We were in beautiful Cabo for 2 weeks and it was absolutely amazing. We are at the start of January. And for a lot of people, January is a month where we set new goals. We try new things. Maybe we sign up for something. Maybe we cut something or someone out. I don't know. I feel like January is just a very new month. It's newness. And I like that. It's a new year. So why don't you throw a few more new things into the mix? I also know that for a lot of people, January is a month that they do what is called dry January. Now, if you've never heard of dry January, it is a month where you just cut out alcohol or maybe other substances that you partake in. I don't know. For me, it would just be alcohol. But I'm not doing that. I'm just going to be really point blank honest. I am going to try to cut back on my drinking for sure. I am someone that I actually don't really drink a lot. I don't really go out. I just get really anxious, honestly, when I go out in Vancouver. I don't know why. And I just feel much more comfortable in my home. I would rather have my girlfriends come over here and have some wine, a wine night, or I'd rather go to a restaurant and have a sit-down table, but I honestly do not club or go out to the bar. If I do, it's usually once every few months, and it's probably for either a birthday or just a spontaneous girls' night. This is the thing with Vancouver, is we have a great food scene. So much diversity, so many cultures that food-wise, it's just immaculate. And I love that about Vancouver. But our nightlife sucks. And I would rather just go to a restaurant with some friends, and I would much rather have my friends either come here or I go to their house. I just like the comfort of my home. I'm paying rent, may as well put it to good use. I am very much a homebody, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I also don't think there's anything wrong with going out and not having alcohol be an element to going out. One of my goals for this year actually is to go out with my friends more and do things that don't revolve around drinking. For example, Vancouver has a lot of fun art activities. I love art. I do paint by numbers all the freaking time. That is my current obsession, paint by numbers. And I also love poetry. I feel like that kind of throws people off a bit because I struggle with words, but I do love poetry and I love live comedy shows. Those are the types of things that I personally enjoy doing when it's almost an activity. Paintballing, that could be an option. No, I don't want to go paintballing for the reason that I feel like I'm just such an easy target. Like, I think my friends would gang up on me, not because they don't like me, but single-handedly because I'm just an easy target. And knowing me, I would get pelted and I'd probably start crying. That's not the point, though. One of my goals is to do more activities with my friends that don't revolve around drinking and consuming alcohol. I feel as though drinking is a very social activity. Being able to text your friends, hey, want to grab a drink? It's very, very easy. And it's easy to say that yes, like, yeah, sure, let's grab a drink. And then one drink turns into 2 or 3 or 4. And next thing you know, you have to Uber home. Where I was going with that was I do feel as though socially drinking is a very accessible option for a lot of people. And at times it can feel a bit isolating when everyone around you is drinking and you maybe don't want to, or maybe you have to do something the next day. In terms of peer pressure, it's really common for people to peer pressure other people into drinking. It's almost seen as a negative if you don't drink. And I don't know why. I will argue, though, I think that connotation is starting to shift around drinking. I think a lot more people are finding it cool not to drink. And I think it is very cool. If you are someone that isn't drinking, or you cut out alcohol or substances out of your life, I think that is very admirable when people can do that. And it takes a lot of self-discipline and also boundary setting to be able to do that. And I think that freaking rocks. If you have that, heck to the yeah, I am your number one fan. I think it is very admirable when people can have self-discipline and set boundaries within themselves. And I think the reason why I'm talking about substances specifically is because a lot of people might be doing dry January. And it is a very easy slope to slip down when you're with your friends and everyone is having that one drink and you think, oh, one won't hurt. When in reality, it's like, okay, you just got to say no to the first one. And I got that advice recently. The hardest one to say no to is the first one. But if you can do that, you're walking down the yellow brick road. And I got that advice and it really resonated with me. In multiple aspects of my life, just saying simply no is sometimes pretty hard. But I wanted to tie it into substances this week, because I think for a lot of people, substances can also be a form of an escape. I think for a lot of people, at times, they will look at certain substances as something that they need to rely on. And for example, drinking, some people might feel as though they need it to feel fun, or they need it to allow their personality to come out. I totally get that. I've been there before. But I also hope you know that if you're watching this, that you and who you are is so freaking cool, and you don't need anything to make yourself feel cooler or included. You don't need any form of substance, because who you are to your core and why your friends love you and care about you is the best version of you. And that's who they love. They don't love you because you're fun to go out with, or they don't love you because you're hilarious when you've smoked a little BC bud. And if your community and the people that you've surrounded yourself with only like you on certain versions of yourself when you're not sober you or 100% just you, then I hate to be the one to say it, but you might need to find some new people to surround yourself with. I also really wanted to talk about boundary setting. Boundary setting could be a whole episode itself, honestly. But I think that something I'm really working on this year is setting boundaries for myself and also for my friends and family, and being able to say no to the people I love the most. And that's really hard when you want to be a yes man and say, yes, I can do this, or yes, I'll do that for you, or yes, we can do this together. I think being able to have that self-discipline, like what I mentioned earlier, and being able to say, actually, I don't want to grab a drink. Instead, could we maybe do this? Or would you like to come over and play a board game? I freaking love games. Bring back board games. I play board games. Actually, whole other side note, there's this board game called Ticket to Ride that I freaking love. And it's like, if you've ever heard of the game Catan, it's like Catan, but it's like a railway, and it's really, really fun. I play that with my friends all the time. Boundary setting is very important, especially if you are partaking in something like Dry January. And I just want you to know that no one's going to think you're not cool, or no one's going to think you're boring or not fun if you set boundaries for yourself. Because I think one of the most attractive things someone can have in themselves is self-discipline, goals, and setting boundaries. And you don't have to agree with anything I've just said. This is my opinion. That's the whole point of the solo episodes, is it's my opinion, foreshadowing for what we're going to be talking about on Sunday. But I'm really excited for you guys to see Sunday's episode, because the person that I have on really talks about the importance of community, boundaries, self-discipline, and coming out on top when you are 100% authentically and soberly yourself. I have no idea if soberly is even a word, but I just made it one. But I am really excited for you guys to meet him, because that conversation really brought me a lot of insight. It taught me a lot. And that is one of the things that I'm most grateful and excited for about this podcast, is that I'm getting to learn new things, new tools, new quotes that I can live by through the individuals that I interview. I hope that you took something away from this episode, whether that be you wanting to set new goals for yourself, whether that be reflecting on how you set personal boundaries for yourself, or whether that be maybe wanting to cut something out of your life that you no longer think suits you in a positive way. Boundary setting and reflecting on the relationships you have in your life can go a very, very long way. And I have been able to do a lot of reflecting recently on what I think I need in my life and what I think best suits me in my life at this stage of my life, being 25 years old. So scary. But I also think that that's all a part of growing up. Community is a huge one, and I'm so grateful for my community and the supports that I have around me, healthy supports I have around me. And I hope that maybe you can reflect on some of the healthy supports you have around you and making sure that you are filling your cup with all of those healthy supports. I hope I got my point across in this episode. I hope that it resonates with one person, or again, maybe I hope that you take at least something away from this episode. But I will say I am very, very excited for you guys to meet my guest this week. If I was to give anyone a time to really listen to an episode, it would probably be the one that I have coming on Sunday. I guess my overall goal for this episode is I really would love for you guys to take care of yourself in whatever way that looks like for you. I really want to remind you that you are the best version of yourself when you feel 100% yourself, not having to rely on anything or anyone. And that's a really cool thing. I am going to sign off on that note. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you all on Sunday for a very special episode. Let me know your thoughts, your feedback, what you want to see maybe in another solo episode. I do a lot of questions on the What Fills Your Cup Instagram page to try to get my audience as engaged as possible. I did want to just say a really big thank you to everyone that has given me suggestions for solo episodes. There has been multiple comments that I really want to talk about, or ideas, I should say, that I really, really want to talk about. So I cannot wait for you guys to hear those episodes, I guess. Thank you guys so very much for watching. If you haven't already, do not forget to subscribe to the What Fills Your Cup channel. Follow the What Fills Your Cup Instagram page. If you haven't heard it today, I love you. And do not forget to tell someone that you love them, because you never know who needs it a little extra. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on Sunday. Bye.